Sam, Lapu-Lapu, and of course, director, Miss Bea Alonso. They call her Rocks of the Screen or the This Generation movie queen in the Philippines. She is the lead actress Diwata. Mr. Hector David Jr. will be Enrique. Miss Marisa Laksa Armani Diwata's big sister Costas Mandilor Lorenzo and Terry Amos Spanish. So, and now let's again hear what's the brief history of this movie from the CEO and the producer, Mr. Francis Larajo. Yes, sir.
Magandang umaga po ulit. Good morning to everyone. It's such a great honor to be this group of very talented, very dedicated group of people. And we're fast becoming a family with our dad here on our right front. We spent so much time, on our trip all the way here from the US. So anyway, maraming salamat po for the local Palawan press and bloggers. Everyone, thank you for always supporting us. It's this could only go so far without you guys support. And for all of those who are online right now, maraming salamat po. I only wish and dream that everyone is here with us. But this is a special project, special moment, especially for the people of Palawan, which has become my adopted home. I'm really from Iloilo, but we have loved Palawan so much that you're really here. Well, 1521. By the way, the beautiful lady right there by the post is my queen.
Yes.
And she's Jane Laraho, and she's the power behind the man that's talking to you right now. So I'm just honored, that 1521 movie started with really just the desire for, in my heart, in our hearts, to make mainstream the Filipino stories of heroism and hope and honor. That's where it all started. It's just a desire that God has put in my heart. And about 4 years ago, during Memorial Day in May, here in Puerto Princesa, I was hoping to teach my children what it means to become a hero. And right here in Puerto Princesa is a place where the Americans and the Filipinos made ultimate sacrifices during World War II. And it dawned on me during that time that no one is telling their stories. And not only their story, but a lot of people's stories. And these are powerful stories that could change lives. However, if no one steps up, no one will ever get to tell their story. Well, fast forward, I was developing all these stories. Michael and I, the director, we met in Washington, D.C. at the Filipino American Creative Council. We were inducted into the council by Ambassador Romualdez last December only. And so from that, we had a great moment of just connection as brothers, as filmmakers, and that started the desire for us to work together. And it so happened that he will share later that his desire as a Filipino American is the same. He wants to tell our story and make it mainstream. And we started talking about just doing a documentary, and it ended up developing into a full feature movie. And this is the crazy fastest ever. In terms of, we talk about this in February, we came here in April, and then by August, we're here doing. It's far from perfect, and yet for us, what really matters, and really what matters in the world, if you watch Braveheart, a lot of people have criticisms of Braveheart, but who really cares, because it's a great movie, right? So for us, for Michael and I, and for our team, our desire is simple: make a great movie that will make the Filipino proud, that will make God pleased, and that will make our family proud, and really impact people with the goodness and the greatness of the Filipino people. That's our. This is not just a Filipino story, because obviously we have Magellan, we have Lorenzo, we have Enrique here. So this will also be a story of the of the Spanish, heritage of the Philippines. So this is a global story that we have Filipino story on the forefront. We will be this is a really collaboration of Latino and Filipino Americans with a special participation of the Greeks from Australia, with Costas right here. So this is a great honor for all of you out there, for all of you online. This is for the honor and the glory of our brown race. Lahing kayumanggi. That's my message. God bless us all.
Thank you very much. Introducer Francis Laro, a very, very sorry man. Of course, behind him is his beloved wife, his Jean. So good morning. And of course, we will also hear the inspiration why director and Mr. Lapu accepted such role, sir.
Yeah, so I'll piggyback on what you said. The first time that you guys didn't hear, this is a story that he's been wanting to do for so long. Same as me, in 2008, I had a book given to me about stories of Filipino heroes. One was Lapu Lapu, and him and I both share the love of the movie Braveheart. And I always saw that, Lapu Lapu was like the Braveheart, the William Wallace. Okay. Braveheart, Lapu Lapu was the Braveheart of the William Wallace of the Philippines. And through time, we've had Bruce Lee represent the Kung Fu culture. We have amazing movies of samurai and Saving Private Ryan for American war heroes, and people through time have been able to say, yeah, that my grandfather was in that movie, he fought in that war, or my family comes from that Hawaiian heritage or the Samoan heritage or this, and he was a Kung Fu master samurai, but we've never heard a lot about the Philippine war heroes. And it's always been in my heart to tell those stories, just like Francis as well. When we met, we shared that same love to embrace the culture of the Philippines. So that's the reason why I took this on, because it was a no-brainer, because I've been wanting to do this my entire life. I've been advocating for the Philippine community since 2000 when I became Power Ranger. Every role I've gotten was start off as a Caucasian audition. And when I got the role, they always forced me to be Latino, but I always fought to try to be Filipino. And see, now we've converted Danny Trejo to be Filipino. So he was wearing a Filipino hat yesterday. So no, I'm just kidding. But they never allowed me to play a Filipino in a movie. I always had to play Latino, which is fine because I love the Latino culture. These are my brothers. But I always wanted to show love to my heritage. My dad, he's a Caviteño, so my mom is too. They're from Cavite. And I've never been able to embrace that on a global level. I'm honored to be 14 on the top 50 list of American celebrity Filipinos on IMDb, right under Lea Salongo and Blue Diamond. Dante Bosco and I have been advocating with Filipino community artists in America. We used to have group meetings that started at 5 to 10 that led up to about 70 to 80 people, which is how I met Bruno Mars, what brought me to the Philippines the first time when I performed with him at Araneta Coliseum. Since then, it woke my brain up, and I said, wow, I really want to make a future here in the Philippines. So why I'm taking this project on is because from this point on, my wife and I have actually dedicated our next 15, 20 years to doing Filipino movies, doing Filipino stories, embracing my culture, producing and directing movies in the Philippines about Filipino stories. And because I'm proud to be Filipino, and I am proud of my heritage, and I want the entire Filipino community to know that I want you to know I am Filipino, and I'm proud to be Filipino. And from this point on, we want to take the stories of the Philippines to the highest global level possible, guys. And that's my vision of our company, of the future of what we're doing with Filipino stories. Now, the vision of this movie, I will touch on. It's such an amazing opportunity. I stand behind myself when I actually get to work with an incredible legend like Danny Trejo. I've been a fan of him since my dad and I first watched Con Air. And I said, Dad, he's so scary. I remember watching him in that movie and like just terrified. And now, when Francis and I were talking to him, who's Magellan? And I know that back then it was ancient Europe, like the European Spaniards were more Caucasian looking. But for me, when you hear the word Spanish, who do you think of? Danny Trejo. Well, I said Danny Trejo's my dude. How about this guy? We had other options coming our way. It's like, we got to figure out how to get Danny Trejo. Danny Trejo, Danny Trejo, Danny Trejo. And ladies and gentlemen, Danny Trejo. And then my amazing opportunity, like I said, being that my goal was to bridge the gap between Hollywood and Philippines. I personally did not know who the amazing Bea Alonzo was until Sir Francis told me. Bea Alonzo is a huge star. So I started watching her movies and Googling her. I'm like, wow, she's got more followers. She's got 10 million followers. And she's a huge star. I'm walking in the mall, seeing pictures of her everywhere, like posters. But that's the thing, guys. A lot of people here do not know who I am as a Filipino actor. And I didn't know who Maricel Loxa was and Bea Alonzo. And that now is going to end. We are going to bridge the gap between the two cultures of artists from the Philippines and America. So that was so amazing that for me to be able to work with such two amazing stars here. And then the incredible supporting cast of my buddy, if you don't know him from Power Rangers and other things like Keeping Up with the Joneses, this guy's an on fire, not just actor, but he's an incredible man and he's an incredible father. And I'm so excited to just have him by my side. When I called him, I didn't get to finish my sentence. He said yes. And I cried and I'm like, I'm so happy for you, bro. This is gonna be such an amazing opportunity and role for you because this guy's heart is bigger than anything. His beauty that is on the outside, the heart inside of him is just so bigger than what you see on the outside. And you'll get to know that. And my buddy Costas Mandalore, I worked with his brother in Mexico last year. When I first had my baby, I left 2 weeks when he was only 2 weeks old. I'm in Mexico shooting a movie with his brother. And that led me to meeting the amazing Costas Mandalore, who from the minute this guy is calling me king and legend, and he's just like, I'm like, no, you're the king, brother. And he is just the most humble, talented, can do a million accents, just hardworking guy, never complaining, and he just brings it. And he brings the essence of who Lorenzo is. He is the art of war. He's the Ares archetype of our movie. And we did that to protect the history of Magellan, because Magellan actually, was the explorer, but we did not want anyone to be upset with Magellan on a high level, although he was doing his vision to make his emperor proud, bring back gold, bring back trade agreements, bring back, he was doing his business to take care of his family. So we created the role of Lorenzo to take the heat off of Magellan's character, and Lorenzo I could not see anyone else playing Lorenzo now. It's just so amazing. It was always Costas Mandalore. And again, I called him, and before I got to finish my sentence, he said, brother, just fly me from Portugal. And he is here. And he brought his buddy Terry as well, who was playing an amazing Spanish soldier. And now, I have to give it up for Maricel Loxa here because her husband has saved my life with these amazing sugar drops. And they have no carbohydrates. And one drop of this will make your coffee taste like sugar. And it's so good. So I was like, I always teach her, I said, thank you. Your husband saved my life now. I can have sweets and not get fat. But her essence is just, when we asked and approached her to play the role of Amani, we needed someone who was going to be the wise leader of our beautiful, innocent, love of excitement, Dewata. I told Dewata, it's like, she just loves love. She loves joy. She loves excitement. She loves the ability of dreaming. She allows her brain to dream and move and feel every single moment. And that's the beauty and essence of Dewata's character. But sometimes those type of characters need to be pulled down to reality. And in this moment, we have the amazing Maricel Loxa that is coming to bring a balance to the character of Dewata in this film. And her expertise and her career speaks for itself here in the Philippines. And that's why I was so excited that she agreed to come on board as well. And I have to give it to all the people in Palawan so far. We're on our third day, and I'm telling you, the extras that have came out have been above and beyond doing things to make the production
California
Ayan.
and
Yan,
built
yan.
the missions, it was, beautiful and wonderful and peaceful. Well, it's kind of like get baptized or we'll kill you. And it was when I read this, they got the exact same history, so it's about time that somebody who told the real story that, wait a minute, it wasn't just the Spaniard heroically taking over. It was a lot of Filipinos, a lot of Mexicans, a lot of Spanish people, Mexican.
From the local media. Because we have one local,
questions.
one question and one follow-up. It will be, number one is, I think it's Damian, as a junior of Radio Pilipinas, Palawan, Damian.
Yes, good evening, maraming salamat. Good morning, sa inyo lahat, of course, the cast of the 21, the director and the producer. Okay, the first question probably, I'll ask the director and the producer. Are there a lot of challenges doing this movie and in the Princesa in Palawan? And knowing that 1521 is Hispanic time, 1521 World War II has been taught in the Philippine education. It is included in the curriculum about what happened to Magellan, what happened to Lapu-Lapu. But a movie in a theater also, a movie there's always a conflict. What makes a conflict more interesting and more captivating for the public to, can't wait to watch the movie?
So what was the question?
Challenges during.
Oh, I can answer really quick for both of us. Some of the greatest movies, let's take The Passion of the Christ. If you look at the thing that happened on that movie, 2 people got struck by lightning. There was over like 80 things that happened on set. I believe there is spiritual warfare everywhere, no matter what you believe. Whether you believe in karma, this, that. I just believe whenever there's a group of good happening amongst a group of people, and some people want to bring that down. And then, whether it's a spiritual force or whether it's people in general, I believe that things will always come in the way of good. It's why we make movies. It's like you got Thanos and you got the Avengers, right? We watch movies constantly of good and evil, of conflict and success, and that's what I always keep my mind on, is that no matter what conflicts happen on this movie or any movie, or whether it's in your own home or in your own work environment, the best thing you can do is keep focusing on the end goal, the prize, and remember that these things are meant to happen to stop something great. The more bad that happens, I believe the higher the greatness that's gonna come from that situation. So yes, I fell and I sprained my quadricep yesterday. I've caught the amoeba parasite. My wife and I were in the hospital for 4 days on IV. We've had a million things happen since we've been here. But the one thing I keep focusing on is that there is something huge and great that's going on with this film that's beyond a normal just make a movie situation. And if you don't feel it from my passion inside, I've already cried 5 times watching these beautiful actors act because I'm just, not even if their scene it's not an emotional scene. I'm just emotional of the fact of how incredible they are doing in these moments. And for me, I think I'm more excited than them. And that's the passion that I think that is in this film. And no matter what comes in the way of us, we will overcome it. So that is what I say to any challenges.
Okay. Well, I've always believed that, anything worth doing doesn't come easy. What can kill you can only make you stronger. And, a year from now, 125 years of Philippine independence, we will look back in this experience, that this experience is absolutely worth it. I actually don't see challenges. I always see opportunities. Whatever, people say it's a challenge, for it's an opportunity to grow, opportunity for the team to grow strong, an opportunity for the people of Palawan to come together. Filipinos have been divided throughout our history, and our desire, at least through movies, we can unite our people. And that for me is an opportunity more than anything else. Nothing like we are unstoppable. I was telling the team, as long as we are united, moving forward, we are unstoppable. So opportunities more than the challenges. So I'm just honored to be here. We're all honored to be here. If you guys know the sacrifices of all these people in here just to make this thing happen, literally each one of us, but it's all because of one big purpose, to make the Filipinos, the brown race, the Lahi Kayo be proud all over the world.
It's well deserving. Thank you. Follow-up question, sir. Sir, for us to have complete details on the information about the 1521 international movie, is the budget could be divulged to the public kung magkano yung ginamit budget for this? And secondly, kailan po when this film could be watched by the people in the movie houses, and what makes Gaya Alonso and Marisa Lasso fits in the role? Do you have that kind of hard time in looking the lead roles in this movie? Thank you.
I'll answer the first two. You answer the
I might need help translating what you
said. It's always the best movies are always those you don't know how much it costs, right? So we want to be. It's better for us to give it to you so that you don't judge it according to the numbers. You judge it to the quality of the work of the director, the artist, and in terms of the distribution, we have already spoken to because of our connection with the Filipino American Council, we have the full support of especially the Los Angeles, our Consul General. We are gonna be premiering this on the 125th Independence Day of the Philippines next year, come June 12th. Because what most people don't know is the Philippines, like the Americans, have the Declaration of Independence, a document that we use, the Katipuneros use to fight Spain. And right in the middle of that, their inspiration is Lapu-Lapu fighting Spain. And we want, this is the center of our celebration next year. 125th anniversary cannot be a better time.
What was the question about the I never shared it, or I'll repeat it. I'll start with Maricel. I mean, we were looking for someone who, I said, who you marry is a reflection of yourself too. And meeting Anthony, I was so just amazed by his presence. And when I found out his wife was an actress, I was like, well, who is she? I want to meet her. Because his presence was kind of like the idea of what I was thinking for the older sister of the wild. So once I got to see her tapes and I Googled, I YouTubed it as much as I can on all of these actors, if they didn't send me their own reel. But it was just spot on. I didn't need another thought of it. She's got this elegant beauty about her, this elegant poise about her that is the Amani. You know, the character of Amani in this, because we have an amazing Vic Romano is playing Udon. He is the reflection of Lorenzo on the Mactan side. He is he's the god of war of the Mactan soldiers. He is still under Lapu-Lapu in our movie. But there is that traditional relationship that you see that's so beautiful in our culture, is this the powerful Filipino woman who can still lead the household but be submissive to her husband's emotions and needs. And that's the thing I felt that Marisol could carry, where she's submitting to her husband, not because she's weak, because she's smart enough to know that he cannot allow he can't control his emotions, and it actually helps him maintain his energy and emotions on a daily basis. So her power actually helps drive her husband too. But in a way, she's balancing so many things as well, because she's also trying to balance Dewada's free spiritness, you know. So she's got her husband who is intertwining on because he from his way, which is by force, not by communication. And that's where I knew for a fact Maricel is the right person for this role. And when it comes to Bea Alonso, I mean, her credits just speak for herself, not just her talent. But when I found out who she is and what she's accomplished thus far, my thing that I'm excited about is that I get to direct Bea's first international global Hollywood movie. Like, she's done so much here in the Philippines. She's even crossed over to Asia and different things. But, you know, so looking at the fact that we're coming from Hollywood, and gross sales just last year alone, there was 528 billion made in Hollywood alone. They're first, second being the UK at 50 billion. And unfortunately, the Philippines was 77th on the list at 127 billion. So if you think about it, it takes 77 countries to even add up to 300 billion, which is still half of Hollywood. So we're coming in this with all of our goals to intertwine Hollywood actors, Hollywood crew, and also Filipino actors and crew, right? So we're crossing two worlds. We're learning a lot. There's different ways you run things in America. There's different ways you guys run things here. Those are part of the challenges. But this is historic, because this is the first time that a Hollywood director and producer are coming here to produce a global Hollywood movie about the Philippines, in the Philippines. Not like a movie like Born Identity that just came here to take advantage of the resources and leave. We're actually coming here to build a dynasty, to build a platform for all of us artists. So I knew for a fact that Bea, with her success and her just her talent alone and being able to speak with her, I knew that she would be the right essence for Dewada, because we were looking for someone who had that Rachel McAdams of the Notebook, someone who is endearing, someone who you look at her and when she smiles, you just fall in love. You just gravitate to her energy, right? She has a bashfulness, and last night scene she brought that. There's a bashfulness about her when she smiles that pulls you in. And in the scene, actually, you'll see between them literally his character. And that is what I want America to do when they watch this movie with Dewada, is to be pulled in. And that's why I chose them to.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for that, Michael. Here from the Manila Media. So this is from Sheila Reyes of ABS-CBN. When and where are you going to start filming? Should we expect this movie in theaters?
We already started. We scheduled today to have the press conference, and then we go straight to the set. We're on our fourth day. So we've already started, and yes, I would say you will expect it in theaters. We have a lot of opportunity for that. I won't speak more about that, but yes, we've already started, and we're right here in Palawan working with this.
Yes, this being the first story about the great bravery and heroism of the Filipinos that changed world history. This will be shown in the theaters. That's our plan for distribution. First in the theaters, and then it will be on the platform. In fact, without revealing names, we already have some platforms already made offers.
Big platform.
Yeah, to do this with us, but we are just waiting for that entire output, the masterpiece to come out before we would even talk about those things. So we just want to focus right now on making a great movie, a great film, and enjoying the journey with all the cast because it's becoming a family.
Question from One News of TV5 to the creators and the stars of the film. Since this is a historical film, how did you do your intensive research when it comes to the culture and events back in 1521?
The good thing though is our production designers, our writers, even our director read a lot about they did a lot of research on his own as well as I did, and so we did consult a lot of historical experts. However, we want to make this note very clear. We are not making a historical movie. We're not talking Bonifacio here. We're not talking, Goyo. This is really a love story, a beautiful love story, kind of like the Pocahontas, the Romeo and Juliet, intertwined, intertwined with the older Enrique. So it's like the brave part, it's inspired by some historical moments, but we are not making a historical documentary. So I just wanted that.
Okay. From Philippine star Natalie Kumada, to the filmmaker, would you choose Palawan as the set location and not Cebu, for example? How is the filming experience in Palawan so far?
Yeah, I will say it's challenging for me as an American not having AC in every environment. I will not deny that, and my other Americans feel the same. But Hector said it best the other day. It's like we're here. We chose Palawan because there's so many parts of Palawan that still look like it's in the 1500s. It's untapped. So if we were to film in Cebu or Macau, it's completely commercialized. So we did not want to go to Thailand or other places. We were trying to stay in the Philippines. And of course, he's the one who introduced me to the fact that Palawan is that place. So when we came here and did our ocular, I was like, oh my God. I mean, we're really in the jungle. And you know what I mean? And it's, we're in the jungle. And that is the beauty of why we chose Palawan, because it still looks like how history looked. And when you see the battle, we're in a place where it actually looks like it still did. There's no homes anywhere near. So that's why I think the essence of Palawan is perfect. I mean, there are communication issues. I've even seen you post through Andrea last week with the telecommunication, and you're dealing with tourism. We still got a long way to go in Palawan when it comes to Wi-Fi. We lost Wi-Fi connection today. I mean, look, it's a proven fact. We lost Wi-Fi today. And Francis said to me, you can get into the nice hotel, but you still might have problems. And he's right. There are days even the AC or something stops working, and they get it fixed, of course. But I noticed, but we're in a raw environment now. And we are really in like the islands. So that's why I think we chose.
Well, the perfect thing of that being raw is that's what the movie.
Yeah, it does.
It may not be what we need as as producers, actors, all the comforts and the convenience, but that's what the movie calls for. Right? Can you imagine if you don't experience the same hardship that the real Mactan warriors experienced when there was no AC during that time, right? And that really why Palawan. We have seen this again and again. Michael has seen it over and over. The Palaweños, my goodness, their commitment, their love, their hard work, their talent, they're just not given the opportunity. But the love of the people, Danny said it well, Hector said it well, the Palaweños are just one of the warmest people in the world. There's like, this is the Hawaii of the Philippines, you know? They are just so relaxed, accommodating. That's why Palawan is the best. Even though I'm from Iloilo, but I love Ilongos too, but that's why we settled in Palawan.
I will say this real quick. The movie G.I. Joe, they chose the destination for the same reason when they were in the swamp water. But all the actors and the extras in the military in there came out and at least had 15 to 20 leeches on them. But that happens in film sometimes because sometimes the location is, you have to weigh the differences. Is the location important or do we build a set here? But it sounds great. Don't worry, we're not going to get any leeches on it. But in a sense, hearing that story as an actor, I was always scared, like, man, would I do that? But sometimes the moment has to be done in that situation. So yeah, that's where we are.
Okay, so we have a lot of questions from Manila. From Jewel of Filipino Philippines. How were the cast selected for their roles and how will they prepare for their roles?
I want to give them more chance to talk about how they're going to prepare for the roles. Let's start over with, actually, do you want to, let's talk over, we give a pass it the cost as they go down this way.
The question was preparing for the role.
Like, how are you preparing? Yeah.
Well, we're on the spirit of the Filipino. And all I do really is pay attention to the story, listen to my director who has great instincts, who's slightly younger than me. And then you have the ladies of the set, and then the great Danny Trejo, who everybody respects. He's showing up, so you keep the standard of hard work, and all you have to do is look at the Filipino food. And I say this from the heart when I see them, the young ones, the people in the wardrobe, on the camera. There's no suffering, just work hard and collaborate, and then you win because it'll be on film forever. So preparation is one thing story-wise, but when you come to a place like this and the spirit is surrounded, you're surrounded by the spirit of the people, there's no complaining and there's no failing. There's no room for error. We just trip, we get up and we keep going. And that's the way I'm going to do it with this film. And believe me, we are sweating and my heat rash feels fantastic on my back, like lashes from a whip, but I don't care because the people around me suffer with me and we laugh at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Danny, welcome.
No, let Hector, you prepare for the role.
Preparing for this role. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody in Manila. Hello, Palawan News and Media. It is an absolute honor to be graced by your presence and to be boots on the ground, walking and running around the island of Palawan to really absorb the energy and just as an athlete alone. And as an actor, for my frame and for my work, I like to push the limits to be as authentic as possible. But physically doesn't mean anything if you ain't aligned spiritually. Can I get an amen?
Yeah, amen.
And so the work that I done, just leading up to this role from the minute I got this movie was just realigning myself with God. And knowing, like Costa said, trusting and putting all my faith in my direction, my director, my producer, my cast. And this project is highly favored. If you're going to do anything in this life that is going to alter, change, or inspire, you better be prepared to be attacked. And I don't mean physically. Like I said before, expect a spiritual warfare. And yes, we are at it. We are shooting a movie about war, but it's a love story. We are at war every day, sweating, but we love it. It ties us more into this world. And so with my research, I've been staring at the beautiful Bea Alonso for 3.5 months now. And so, like everybody said, I'm a new father, three weeks father.
About the setup, man.
And so my shrine in my house started with Bea Alonso, but I just was graced and blessed from God with a little baby girl, 3 weeks old. And so we're walking around the house, check, 1, 2.
You turned it off.
Check, 1, 2. Like I said, spiritual warfare. You need the mic. So yeah, I'm saying I pay Alonso and walking around the house with a baby. And I'm like, oh man, I hope my girl doesn't get upset. And I'm just looking at another woman 3 to 4 hours a day. So I put ghost stuff next to her. And then the next day I added Danny Trejo. and so it has been just a spectacular experience from the beginning, from when I found out that I was going to be honored to play this role with Enrique. My baby was due on July 30th, and I was supposed to fly out July 28th. My baby decided to come early the day after my birthday, so I could come here and come to deliver this role, this movie, and share the love of God and a romantic story about love, passion, and I am totally humbled and much love, and I can't wait to get back to work tonight.
We still have a lot of questions from Manila media. A lot of questions from Manila media, but we have to wrap up. For the locals, because they want also to take photos with the whole group. So we'll wrap it up. I'll just do the interview for all of the actors, and yeah. So thank you so much, everyone, and we'll wrap up for now. Thank you.
So, photo ops outside, no? Photo ops na lang po, talagang
Yeah. Outside lang. Yeah, I think. Oo. Okay lang dito. Andrea.
Hi everyone. Sorry, this is Linda. I think they're doing some stuff in the Palawan, but I just would like to thank everybody on behalf of the 1521 team for joining us today. As mentioned, we will be sharing the recording of the press briefing. Our apologies and thank you for your understanding, everyone.